Can you please discuss the benefits of buying in a land trust?
First of all, you do it for privacy, right? I don't want to have my name anywhere. If you talk to any really, really wealthy people, you don't want your name showing anywhere. The less I could show up on any type of county documents is better. Properties that you own, the better. So there's a list of reasons why I love a land trust. But one, I love the fact it gives me privacy, right? When we deed a land trust, it doesn't say the land trust name is Joe or Jen. It's usually just the property address. So if I have a house on 123 Apple Street in Smithtown, Virginia, then it's going to be 123 Apple Street, Smithtown, Virginia, Land Trust. That's the name. So I love the privacy of it. I also love the flexibility to it too, because for the same fact goes, if you have to change a beneficiary, so the beneficiary of a land trust is really who's benefiting from it, right? Who's the kind of the owner of it. Those are easy to change. Trustees are easy to change. Also, too, if we have for an example, if I have a lender who sees that I bought a property in a land trust, they're not saying it's less likely to call the loan due, but there is the Act of 1982 deed of Saint Germain, which says that if a family deeds a property into a trust for estate planning purposes, a lender cannot call the loan due. Although they can look at who the beneficiary owner of that trust is, and if it's not that person's name, and it's your LLC, could they still call the loan due? Sure can. But let's just say hypothetically that happens, right? The bank pulls it up and says, hey, Joe, hey, Jen, we pulled up the paperwork and it shows that this property is deeded to this land trust. We need to see the beneficiary paperwork or the deed or the trust papers. Say they need to see that. It's not recorded with the county, so they don't see it anywhere. But say they request it for some reason. I could add or subtract any names or anything I want there fairly easily. Okay, so I love the flexibility of a land trust. I love the fact it gives me my privacy. I love the fact that I'm able to direct the proceeds of that to any LLC that I want to, and it still remains out of my name. When you talk to Ron LeGrand, he is probably the legend on how to set these up the right way. And this is why I've learned from him for 20 years how to do this. This is why I do it the way we do. And when you have people who are ultra successful say this is the way to do it, and they tell you the reasons why, not just to do it this way, you find out all the reasons why, he is speaking the truth. And this is why we do it the same exact way. So I love the privacy, most important. Great question. And you should always be deeding them to a trust too. Don't deed them to your LLC. Because when you're looking at a lender and a lender sees that this new sub 2 buyer is an LLC, that could cause an issue, right? So when it sees it's deeded to a land trust and it's the trust name, they usually just back off of it. And if you really wanted to get stabby, you could put the trust name under the previous owner's name. So if Mary Smith was the owner, I could put Mary Smith Land Trust. Doesn't mean she's the beneficiary or the trustee. That's just the name of the trust. You can name it whatever you want. And all it is a handful of papers, not some big, long, drawn out thing that's very expensive. I've had people say, my attorney says it costs $5,000 to make a trust. Guys, then get another attorney. It should cost a couple $100. It's a handful of pieces of paper. It is not overly complicated. If it costs you more than like $200-300, find another attorney.